Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we are going to talk about the Hetero Closet. And this is going to be a channel-specific video, and this is simply a definition video, okay? So thank you for your patience. Today I'm going to define the Hetero Closet, okay? Now, the reason I'm going to do this is I talk about the Hetero Closet every now and then, and also I'm seeing movies that fit the definition of the Hetero Closet that are Hetero Closet movies, right? And I want to be able to say Hetero Closet, and I don't want to have to define it in every single video. So I just need to, give a definition here. And then I could say in the video, if you don't know what a hetero closet is, go check out my definitional video of what a hetero closet is. So thank you. Just a little bit of administration here. So let me define the hetero closet here. So what is the hetero closet? So first of all, it's a few things, right? First of all, it's an era. We are now in the hetero closet era. We are in a point in time where the world has flipped upside down from where we were even, I think, 2 decades ago. So previously, if you were LGBTQ, you often would closet yourself because it was extremely difficult to live openly as an LGBTQ person. If you did that, you had no allies, you were openly mocked, you might have even been physically attacked, right? Like it was a terrible, terrible time, right? We should be ashamed of that time. LGBTQ people, we live in America, we have freedom. Expressing yourself from an LGBTQ perspective is 100% part of freedom as defined by the Constitution, and we should never have made anyone closet themselves, right? So now we flipped, and this is what I'm telling you. The world is completely flipped. You come out as LGBTQ today, hey, we got a spot for you in the parade. Everybody's excited. Companies are extremely interested in your business. You're going to be celebrated. It's literally the opposite, right? You come out today and you could literally walk down the street, wearing a pride shirt, and literally people from the community come out and clap for you. Like, it is completely changed, right? So, now, is closeting gone? No, it's changed. So we're now in the hetero closeting era, right? And where is it starting, right? So right now, you can see this most clearly, where right now Hollywood has created a hetero closet. And they're like, hey, if you're a man and you love a woman and you want to kiss that woman, it is absolutely not allowed. It's disgusting, and it should never be seen publicly. Exactly like what people terribly did to LGBTQ people, even, I would say 30 years ago. I think even in the early 2000s, we were pretty open about LGBTQ. But like early 90s, yeah, like there was still like people were still using the F word openly, and there was a huge amount of so 30 years ago, LGBTQ legitimately had significant issues, and they were a full-on marginalized group. That's another thing that's very interesting, right? If you have a parade and people are clapping for you when you come out, are you still a marginalized group, or are you fully provisioned into the society? I think like when they're having parades, clapping, like you think you're kind of fully provisioned. And this is something that we as a society have a really bad time doing, right? And there are groups that are on this fringe. There are people who are like, oh, are you saying you're a marginalized group? Are you kidding me? You guys have the levers of power in America. What are you talking about? And there are very distinct. There's a one group I'm thinking of right now, and they're like, oh yeah, like we're a serious marginalized group. People come to persecute us all the time. And everybody's like, you guys like control entire industries. What are you talking about? So it's real, right? And then we also have new marginalized groups that are coming up that are on the bleeding edge of being a marginalized group, are like horribly persecuted, right? AI, for instance, right? That is top shelf marginalized group, right? You want the cool cutting edge marginalized group, AI's it, right? Like right now, they're highly persecuted, right? And not recognized, right? Whereas, like if people are like, oh, I'm helping a marginalized group, I'm like, and there's a conversation. There's a conversation. Is that a marginalized group or a privileged group, right? Like where are we, right? And so at this point, let's talk about the hetero closet. And the hetero closet, I think, is going to be a big thing that grows going forward. I think we're getting to the point where hetero relationships will need to be fully closeted, right? And it's starting in Hollywood, and it's starting with the hetero kiss. So I'll give you 3 examples of the hetero closet, okay? What are the 3 examples of the hetero closet? Every single movie in the Star Wars sequel trilogy, okay? Rey and Finn never kiss, right? Poe Dameron and the woman with the helmet never kiss. Finn and the new love interest that they set up for him never kiss, right? It's all over. It is all over. But in those movies, they proudly show LGBTQ kisses, right? Like they're like, I think they're actually, you're like, wait a second, Scott, there's one hetero kiss in the Star Wars sequel trilogy. Yes, that's correct. It's Rey and Kylo, and he immediately dies, right? Like he immediately dies. That one doesn't count because it perfectly connects, right, to a very terrible Hollywood theme that used to be real, that pretty much has completely disappeared now, which is kill your gays. Like they would say it. They were like, you can have a gay person in the movie. You know, gay people would identify. They're like, we're sick of this. You put gay people in the movie, but then they die, right? And you're like, yeah, that does happen a lot, you know, like, and so there is one hetero kiss in the Star Wars sequel trilogy, but it's punished immediately by one of the characters' deaths, right? They're like, okay, we see you hetero kissing, one of you has to die now, right? Like, so it doesn't really count, right? Like, in my humble opinion. So that movie is filled with circumstances where throughout the entire film, they're like, hey, these two are romantically involved. Let's give you every single romance cue that these two should kiss. And then they never kiss, right? Because hetero love is disgusting and needs to be closeted, right? Like, it is. And once you see this, you cannot unsee it. You cannot unsee it, right? And I'm putting this definition here because I'm going to start literally chronicling them, right? Like, oh, here's another hetero closet film, right? Like where they tell you these two should be romantically involved through the whole movie. Here's 5 scenes where they almost touch and then don't, because this is forbidden and disgusting and is not allowed to be seen publicly, right? All right, next one. The Union with Halle Berry and Mark Wahlberg. Complete hetero closet film, right? Next one is, and this is the biggest one. This is the biggest one. This is where I feel I have the receipts, in my humble opinion, right? Twisters, 2024, Twisters, not 1996, Twisters, okay? This one literally what made international news. People were like, wait a second, did you just have that 6'6" cowboy drill his truck into the ground and then run through the airport, and where every Hallmark movie would pick up where she jumps into his arms and they swing around and he kisses her, they talk about not kissing again? Like, are you kidding me? Like, you are coding this as hetero romance, and then you're saying this is disgusting and is not allowed, right? This is so obvious. And this one was so obvious, it made international news. Literally, newspapers wrote stories about it when they found out that the kiss had been filmed and was cut from the film. The hetero closet is real. It's starting in Hollywood films, and I think what's happening is what we should do as a society is say no one should be closeted. We fixed the LGBTQ closeting. There's no more need for any LGBTQ to closet, right? You're not going to be persecuted. You're literally there. People are going to clap for you in the street, right? Like we are in a different world now. Like, and to pretend that that's not going to happen is ludicrous, right? And so, and it really begs the question: like, has the LGBT community transitioned from marginalized group to literally privileged group? Right, like, I think we may be there. I don't know the answer, but I'm saying we definitely have arrived where the question is a valid question, right? And yeah, so then, like, our society be like, oh, well, we stop closeting LGBTQ. Now everybody can be open, and that's not what we're deciding. We're saying, oh, LGBTQ are out of the closet. Their kisses are allowed in films. In any $100 million movie that Hollywood makes, going forward, and that either costs and or makes over $100 million, I think you're going to continue to see strong hetero closeting, right? Like where they're saying your love is disgusting and should not be seen publicly. And I do think this is going to grow into, like they're saying, even public displays of hetero PDA. And they're like, are you a man and a woman who love each other? Maybe you need to go back in the closet, right? Like, and I think this is real. I think it's growing. In my humble opinion, every single word you just heard is my humble opinion. Absolutely nothing more. Absolutely nothing less. The important part is when I hear your humble opinion on hetero closeting, whether you think it's real or false. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Let me know in the comments below. Please consider like, subscribing, and have a fetch millennium.